Everyone, and welcome to the Daily Spell. I am Reverend Mary Hogg, and today my guest is Rebecca Caravello. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for
Well,
having me. I'm super excited.
well, I'm excited to have you be here with me. And Rebecca has a beautiful oracle deck she designed herself. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your deck?
Sorry, my throat's sore. I was trying to get a drink real quick.
That's fine.
Um, yes, I would love to tell you about my deck. My decks are inspired by photography. I've been taking photos since I was about 14, probably before then, but like really seriously had a passion for it since I was 14. And I have always wanted to travel. And in 2020, right before COVID hit, I got the opportunity to go to Ireland and Isle of Man. And while I was there, I got to take a whole bunch of photos, like I think it was over 5,000 photos. And I think that was also the start of my walk, my beginning of understanding of who I am and my spiritual side. And so while I was on that trip, all these photos came to me, and I started to basically just have, when I was editing them, I would get messages that kind of went with the photo. I didn't understand it at the time because I wasn't fully where I'm at now. And it took me about 2 years before I actually turned them into Oracle cards because I was just not sure of what that meant yet. I didn't understand it, and I hadn't experienced that gift that I had and the connection that I had to Oracle cards. Or I'd experienced it. I just didn't know that's what I was experiencing. Um and so I started to go through the photos that I had already edited and pull out the ones that I felt like I had messages already to them and kind of go through them and connect them. And so my deck is called Oracle of the Isles. Each of the decks, hold on, that I created come with a pouch, or it comes with, some of them do have boxes, but the majority of them have this pouch. And the pouch, basically, I feel like for me, I like to keep all my decks in a pouch. It's easier for me to get to them and access them and utilize them to carry them around. So that's just how I keep mine. And that's why I did both. I know some people do like the box, but personally, I like the pouch. But the deck itself, um, sorry, each of them has a message on the card itself, and it talks just about the picture and what I felt when I was looking at the picture and what I was experiencing, sometimes just in the moment of taking the picture, if I could remember. This specific picture was actually taken in Galloway. Um, I take that back. This one was taken in Dublin. I just remembered that was taken on the last leg of my trip. So, but each of the pictures that I've taken, I can look at them and I can remember pretty much where I was or what emotion I felt at the time. I remember seeing this building and the red just popped out at me. And immediately to me, that just meant love and, a connection feeling, and seeing the two people look like they were connecting to each other as well. So, um, I don't know, like, if you guys are seeing all the cards. I apologize. I'm trying to get them so
We
you guys
see them.
um there are 53 cards in the deck, and I am so sorry about the cough. It is catching me. And so each of the cards, like I said, they just come with a message, and each of them have a different font on them because I felt like each card has not only a different message, but a different personality. Like they just kind of have this feeling to them. This card has a lot of meaning for me. The flower that's in this card is called the gorse flower. Um, the gorse flower and I did not get along so well. they poked me pretty hard and they're very painful. But it did
How,
put me in a position where I connected to the flower in the aspect of knowing that even in the beauty that you see here, that there's this sharp needles that are the leaves. And that's all they have. They don't have like a leaf, but it just it had a tenderness to it at the same time. So I actually got that flower tattooed on me on the trip.
wow.
When I was in Isle of Man. So I have tattoos for every place I travel. I'm currently now working on an oracle deck for when I went to Greece in September of this last year as well. So that should be coming. My plan is to have it done by the end of this year.
Wonderful. And I want to say hello to Michael and Ed and Kazane in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining us.
I
And
saw
your
something
deck,
but I didn't notice it.
your deck is beautiful and insightful. So does anyone have a question for us? Don't be shy. Post your questions. And I can't wait to see your deck from your Greek trip when that comes out.
Me too. I'm super excited about it. I have picked out the photos I'm going to use, but I haven't had a chance to go through and do all the edits and start adding the messages to them. So, like I said, hopefully by the end of this year, between the oracle cards, the resin art, and my writing, and then the 9 to 5 job and kids, it's going to take me a little bit of time.
Just a little bit of time, I imagine. I understand the juggling. I have a mundane job and I'm the manager or president. We're working on my title of Pagan World TV.
Nice.
And running Pagan Pride Day. Hi, Matthew. Thank you for joining us. So go ahead and post a question for us. Michael wants to know if anyone can buy your deck.
Yes, my deck is available. If you go to the link tree that's across the bottom, you can order the deck directly on the site. There's a link that says purchase the deck. There's a spot where you can get readings. There's a spot that talks about all the other services that I offer on there. But it is available. The deck itself is $40, and then depending on where you're located, shipping. So if you're in the US, it's a flat rate shipping. If it's outside of the US, then obviously it's a little bit different.
All right. And Matthew is asking if he'll get promoted in his job this year. All right.
Okay, so the card that popped out for me is Crossroads. And I think what it's saying is that you have some choices coming up and that it depends on which path you choose, will that happen. So you got to pay attention to the options that you have in front of you and make sure that you're looking at what abilities you'll have. Like if you take this road, what options will you have options for promotion? Whereas if you take another area, you may not have option for promotion this year just because of the fact that that doesn't have that growth in that position. So I would definitely look at all the options in front of you and decide which way you want to go with it.
All right. Well, I pulled 3 cards. The first card is the Queen of Swords. Yes, that card is me. I'm reading with the Tarot of Hecate or the Infinite Tarot. And when Reverend Don Lewis did the Kickstarter, you had the option to commission a card of your choosing, and I asked him to draw me as the Queen of Swords because this card always comes up representing me in readings anyway.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. And in this case, this card represents overcoming obstacles. So there are some obstacles in your way. If you wish to get a promotion. Next is the major arcana. We have the body here, which is the earth. And with the body, and that is 14, which comes down to a 5 numerologically speaking. There is some chaos here. There's something to be managed. And then we've got the 7 of Wands, which shows somebody waiting here. So there's some introspection going on. And I'm going to pull one more card. And I've got the moon. And this shows people working a ritual amongst triptychs like you would see at Stonehenge. So there, if you want a promotion, there is some obstacles in your way, and you need to be doing magic, doing ritual, doing affirmations, however you interact with the universe to send out energy to make that happen for you. So I hope you find that helpful, Matthew. And let me shuffle. Does anybody else have a question for us tonight? And I love that image on your card, by the way. And you're most welcome, Matthew.
You're welcome. That image that I showed for the crossroads was actually taken from a plane as I was flying. I think I was flying into Ireland from Isle of Man on that one.
That just sounds like an absolutely amazing trip.
It was 19 whole days.
Hello, Dreamtime. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
All right. If anyone else has a question, please post it in chat. Meanwhile, we can talk a little about the difference between a tarot card and tarot cards and oracle cards. Tarot cards generally follow a set format, although the Infinite Tarot stretches it a little. It has 5 suits instead of the usual 4. We have the suit of lamps, which deals with spiritual matters. And there are additional cards in the major arcana, but it does follow the standard minor arcana and major arcana format. With an oracle deck, there's not necessarily a particular format. It's just whatever speaks to the author.
Yeah, I always get that question, especially when I do events. People will ask me, and that's pretty spot on to what I say. So that's, at least I know I'm making some sense.
You are making lots of friends. Okay, we've got a question from Kazang.
Okay.
Okay, so your friend who watches your cats moved away with your cats and didn't tell you. So you want to know if you're doing the right thing by by letting your cats go. Are they happy with their new owner? All right. So I have starting out with the Prince of Swords here. And so this is air manifesting with air. So a lot of intellectual energy here and a dust storm. And then I've got the King of Lamps, lamps being about spiritual issues. And the king is about being the master magician and being able to manifest what you need in the situation. And finally, we have the Queen of Swords, who is a woman. We have water and air. So she is in balance. So I'm going to say that at this point, I'm going to pull one more card here. And we've got the Emperor, who refers to the cycles of time. So I'm going to say right now your cats are in a good situation. And I don't think you need to do anything else right now, Kazane. And what have you got, Rebecca?
So what I got, I felt like was more towards you per se, not so much the cats and whether they're in a safe situation or not. I think there's some work that maybe you need to do for yourself so that you can feel confident in yourself and in your decisions. So the first one that popped up for me was Lighthouse. And it says stop, take warning. And to just go the other way. So I think there's some time that you need to focus on some things for you right now and to not be maybe so stressed out about whether or not the cats are safe or whether or not that you did the right thing, but more focus on what can you do here and now to better why you're feeling so detached, because I think you're feeling very detached, which when you lose a pet, whether it's someone takes it, whether you give it away, whether it passes away, whatever the case may be, we do feel detached because they are part of us, they are part of our family. And so that's okay that you feel detached, but you need to make sure that it doesn't become so overwhelming that it drowns you out of you. um and I think there's some cycles that you have had going on that you really need to focus on, making sure that you don't keep repeating them. I'm not sure what specifically, whether that's an issue of trusting someone that you shouldn't be trusting or just allowing people to take advantage of you and to walk all over you. And then the last one I got was move on. And basically, this card just says it's time to move on, but never forget all the things that you've gone through. So it's okay that things have happened to us. It's okay that we've been through cycles, but we need to make sure that we move on from them and learn from them. So, I mean, I agree that the cats are probably in a good situation. I didn't get an uncomfortable feeling when you started discussing that. But I do think you need to maybe do some work within yourself to kind of help you so that you can move forward and not feel so held back, if that makes sense.
Okay, Kazane, I hope this helps you. And then Dreamtime has a question. How do I best handle my very negative neighbors?
Whew.
Bury some hematite in the yard between you and them. To start with, hematite absorbs negativity. First piece of witchy is.
Okay. So I'm not sure what you mean by negative, in the sense of if they're acting negatively or verbally, maybe speaking negatively about things. But I got the card that says moment, and it basically says to remember to capture the moment. So I think what it's saying is to just remember to be aware of what's going on around you. Like, what is causing the negativity? Make sure that you're capturing every little detail of it, that you're not just letting the underlying reason pass you by. And the reason why I think that's the case is the next card that I received was reflections. And it says that, when things get a little blurry at first, let it settle and then you can see things clearly. So the thing about when we're reflecting on things, when we're trying to see all the aspects of it, sometimes it's just too much going on. So we have to let it settle to figure that out. So take some time and reflect on what you're finding when you're looking at the moments that are causing it. And then just take some time to do some renewal for yourself. Get a fresh start. We really get so focused on all the bad that's happened in the past, and I'm sure they are doing that, but maybe you're there to help them to find that renewal, to find that positive. Encourage them when they're being negative or acting negative. Encourage them to be more positive. Maybe show them by telling them the brighter side of the situation. Not everything always has a brighter side, but there's always something that we can learn from what we go through, negative or positive.
All right, so my first card is the Six of Lamps, and it's one of my favorite cards in this deck because this represents a woman doing a vision quest. So this is about learning to access your power and your magic. So whatever is going on in this situation, you have the ability within you to deal with it. So you may need to take some time to meditate and work with your higher powers, spirit guides, ancestors, deity, saints, however you see that. But you have the ability to handle the situation. Next, we have Judgment. And this represents working on completing a cycle, completing something that you have been working on. So I'm wondering if you are getting negativity from someone who is maybe jealous of seeing what you are manifesting in your life. And it could be just sour grapes. It could be the kind of negativity that gets manifested because the person doesn't feel like they're capable of manifesting anything positive in their life. But you are coming close to manifesting something you've been working on, and you are sitting in balance. Notice the figure is sitting in front of the yin and yang on a lotus. And the other side to this card is once you've completed this, you're going to be at loose end. So you need to find a new project, and for heaven's sakes, don't let their negativity pull you down. And finally, I've got the future. And here we see either Daedalus or Icarus. We're not sure who. So you can be Daedalus and fly at a reasonable height and get away to safety. You can be Icarus. Fly too close to the sun so the wax on your wings melt and plunge to your death in the sea. So it's important to find balance in this situation. When dealing with your neighbor's negativity, don't let them drag you down. And again, I'm going back to, if they're sending negative energy your way, put some hematite between you and them. Hematite absorbs negativity. When I, in a different position, had to sit next to a coworker who just dripped constant negativity, I bought a chunk of hematite, made sure I was the first one in the office one day, and I duct taped that under her desk. For my own sanity. And to help everyone else in the office.
Yeah.
Let's just absorb some negativity here. We'll all be happier. So I hope that helps you, and you are very welcome.
You're very welcome.
So, does anybody else have a question for us? Hi, Al's Moon. Thank you for joining us. In fact, I wonder what happened when they closed that office. I had left that job, but someone must have busted up the desks and found a chunk of hematite taped to that desk and wondered what was going on. Older neighbors living next to a witch and rock musician. They don't like us. Well, if they can't see how awesome you are, that's on them.
I what's the word I'm looking for? So there's a phrase I heard all the time growing up, and I hated it, but it makes a lot of sense now that I'm an adult. But kill them with kindness. Show them how awesome you are. Just be as sweet as you can. Definitely do things to make them appreciative versus hesitant. I don't know if they have yard work and they're doing it, maybe you can offer to help. Sometimes people won't take the help, but anything that you can possibly do to kind of soften the blow, for sure. I think that, just kind of renew the possibility for them. I think that that's what that definitely makes a lot of sense now.
It does. Yes, be as positive toward them as you can. And hey, I'm tootling around a small city in Tennessee with aqua hair, so when I get weird looks, I smile.
I mean, I get a few weird looks on a regular basis.
Yeah. You know, pentacle, turquoise hair.
I mean, it doesn't scream witch at all.
No, no. My rings, no, nothing about me screams she's a witch.
I actually got home today and took all my jewelry off, and kind of just got comfortable. And then as we got ready to get started, I was like, I didn't put my makeup on. I didn't put my jewelry. I'm okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you're fine, Rebecca.
I'm in a good group of people.
Right. So does anybody else have a question for us? And be sure to check out Rebecca's website at linktree/RJC1123.
And like I said, that site will bring you, it's like sectioned out. I wonder if I can pull it up so I can show you real quick.
I may have to do it, but yes, I can.
Oh, I was going to pull it up on my phone, but on the screen might work better.
Yes. Let me get that pulled up here and I can share it.
Thank you. Feathers? Do I have feathers? Or
I like Rebecca mohawk and feathers. I don't think you're wearing feathers, but
no, I do have extensions. My hair is actually short on top. So I add the extensions to kind of give me the length. This was a COVID decision for sure.
Right. And
So
here we are, 3 Moon Art LLC. Go ahead and explain your website.
Okay. So each of the little white blocks, no, it's completely okay. They do kind of look like feathers if you're looking into the camera. I am sure of it. And they're kind of behind, so it's harder to see. But each of the blocks will tell you a little bit, like once you click on them. So on the first one there, that is so if somebody wants to help donate, to pay or to donate money to help for me to basically produce my Oracle deck, the grease deck. I haven't named it yet. So, and then the next links down there, there's build your own resin art, build your own spirit guide. So those are where you'll go in and you'll look at some of the items that I have. I'm not sure if I have the pictures uploaded in there correctly yet, so I don't know if you can see them, but you can definitely go to my website and see them on Facebook and on Instagram. And then as you see there, it says book an online reading, book a photo shoot. There's order Oracle of the Isles deck. And it just gives you each of those. And then at the bottom, there's some other connections there. There's my son's company there that he does a clothing line. This is actually one of his that I have on today, which I didn't plan. I just noticed it. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry.
You're in Tennessee, honey. Allergies happen.
Yeah, but going from Oklahoma to Tennessee this last weekend is what caused it. That, and I forgot to take allergy pills the whole time. Let me see if I have any water. It might work better than the hot chocolate.
It might.
Okay. Let's see if we can
And
talk now. So yeah, so each of those things just tells you a little bit about different things. They bring you to the websites, but you can always reach out to me. My contact information is up at the top. So if you have any questions or if you're having difficulty with it, please don't hesitate to call me or email me. You can even send me a text. I think my phone number is at the top.
Yes, and I will also add, if you are in the Nashville area, Rebecca and I will both be at the Galactic Expo.
I am super excited about it too.
I am too. So the Galactic Expo is going to be at the Nashville Fairgrounds, May 20th and 21st. I'll be there with Pagan World TV, and Rebecca will be there. Which company name are you vending under?
We will be under 3 Moon Art LLC. It'll be myself and my girlfriend, and then I'll have some other people there helping. But I'll be doing readings. I'll have resin art. She'll have some of her art there. I think that's it. There's so much. We have a pretty big booth, so.
Yay! And we have a question from Owl's Moon. Okay. All right. So Owl's Moon is afraid that they have upset someone without meaning to. They're not sure if they upset this person or if it's just something they projected. The expos are run by KC Metaphysical Dreamtime, and I do not know if they do expos in Las Vegas.
KC Metaphysical does not, that I know of. But I know that they do have expos in other cities. They're just under different names. I would suggest Googling metaphysical events near me, and you should be able to find them that way.
All right. So how do we figure out How do you figure out what went down further without accidentally upsetting them by bringing it up? Well, let's see. Why don't we ask what happened? Let's put it that way, Owl's Moon. Why is the other person upset with you is the question I'm going to ask. Or did you? All right. I'm thinking of how best to phrase it.
Well, the question is she or he, Owl's Moon said, is it just something they projected onto them? Sometimes I think we're concerned that maybe the way we said something didn't come out the way we wanted it to. And we begin to basically cause ourselves to get upset and concerned about something before that's really the case. It probably would be okay to ask if you ask for clarification and just let them know, look, I'm not trying to upset the situation any worse. I just want understanding. And I want to know if I did the right thing or if I did something or if I could do something better next time. I would definitely think about doing that. But yeah, I definitely think we need to obviously see what else is here. and defensive, but to my knowledge, I hadn't said anything that might have. And that's why we asked for clarification for sure.
Right. All right, so I'm coming up, first of all, with the Four of Pentacles, which is indicating doing well on the material plane. Then we've got the Nine of Cups, which is indicating emotional happiness. And then we've got the Nine of Swords, which is indicating that there is something going on intellectually here. I'm going to pull one more card. And I get the King of Wands. So, all in all, I would say that Wands are about action. Swords are about air, which is communication. Wands are about fire, which can be action. I think in this situation, you do need to take some action. And just say, I didn't mean to offend you. Did I say something wrong? And that's what I'm getting here, Rebecca.
Okay, so I pulled some cards, and the cards I got was troubles. Don't let rainy days stop you. Take a walk in the rain. So I think what it's saying is don't let this situation become a hindrance to your relationship. Just make sure you enjoy what time you guys have and try to communicate with them.
And she ended up talking over you, so you couldn't speak.
Okay. So the next card that I got was find the light in every situation. Even in the dark times, let the light shine through. And then my last card I got is silence. Put a cork in it. Know when to stop talking. And as I saw that one, immediately I got a sense of, okay, she's trying to communicate to you and she doesn't know how to communicate back any more than you know how. So she's struggling with her communication as well. And you may just need to let her talk her part out. And when she's done, say, okay, I would love to tell you my side of this. Do you mind just letting me tell you everything? And then we can discuss how we can fix this situation. So let her have her chance to say her piece. And it may be that you have to let her go first. But then just say, I don't mind listening and hearing every bit of what you're saying. And then I'd like to be able to do the same. And then you guys can talk it through that way. Because if you guys are both talking, there's no silence. There's no chance for listening. And I think that's the biggest problem with most people that communicate is they're so busy trying to tell their own side. They don't hear what's really being said on either side. And so you may just have to be the bigger person and let her go first.
Yeah, and practice active listening, which is where you repeat back what you think you heard and give her a chance to correct if she didn't communicate well or you didn't understand well. Because I think you just have a genuine misunderstanding here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to get to the bottom of it is to communicate. about the issue.
I think it's not going to be the easiest conversation to have, but I think if you just take the time and like allow them to express and then try to communicate your side, it will go better than if you try to put your side out first.
I agree.
And in that being said, in her going first, you may realize part of the situation and not need to express as much because once she explains her side, you may be like, oh, okay, that's where the miscommunication came. So now I know how to handle this.
I hope that helped you, Owl's Moon. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Does anybody else have a question for us? Going once. Going twice. All right. Well, we're getting near the top of the hour anyway. So, Rebecca, I want to thank you so much for being my guest tonight.
Thank you for
Cute,
having
Michael.
me.
All right. And I hope you'll join me again sometime.
I would love to, and I can't wait to meet you in person just in a couple weeks.
Yes, in a couple of weeks, I'll meet you in person. All right, everyone. I am Reverend Mary Hawk. This is Rebecca Caravello, and this has been Tarot Thursday on the Daily Spell. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. Have a good evening and blessed be.